Yo, it's Freaky Friday. What is up? What's going down? Fastest show on MLB absolutely anywhere. Take that one to the bank. Call to the pen. HQ with the big man. Follow me up at John Laghezza on Twitter. DJ Stoda, Martine, OPMG, William Craig. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much. Thumbs up to everyone from William Craig, and hopefully from everybody. Agreed. Rate, review, and subscribe, because that ish matters more than it should. Just way more than it should. And if you consume any of this content and you've stuck around here, you probably know that already. What's up, everybody? Freaky Friday, full slate, all PM stuff. All right. This is like it. You know, if you bet baseball, we're running out of time. Playoff stuff is a little bit different. We're going to cover that as well when we get there. But this is it. It's funny how some people, football's on, I don't pay attention. No, we bet on baseball we can, especially on these days. Friday, hopefully we get a decent crowd today in the principal's office at the restaurant where the chefs eat. Again, just appreciate everybody that has hung around with us, as Jay, our wonderful producer, Rob Pizzola, the brain trust of this whole thing, and myself. Hopefully, an immersive experience. That's what this is all about. You know, you're going to learn something. You're going to have some fun. That there's actually creating a thirst for the knowledge. And really, that is what means the most to me. Somehow we've been able to maintain the viewership. Holy moly. We must be doing something right. Because most baseball shows are not even like packed. It's never like they've toned it down. They've actually packed it up, packed it in. Well, let me begin to do the thing that we do. Me and you, Call to the Pen crew. Let's hustle through it. Tim York, I see you. BGC. Dude. Killing me, man. Sorry, the DMs, people, are very hard for me to keep up on. I have an incredibly hard time keeping up with DMs. Just tag me. I want to share whatever it is that you have. If it's a real question, unless it's something really personal, you know, put it in public. Let's get it out to everybody. Jeff L. Brian Rose, my man. We see you, my friend. There are no sorries. Last piece of good advice, hopefully, before we get into it. Brian Rose, my friend. I was always told growing up, save your sorries for bad intentions. And I thought, wow, that's pretty deep. We all make mistakes. I make more than anybody, dude. So let's go do the thing. We're going to just fly through it. Oh, my God. Who else covers it? Who else is doing this? The one-man band banging the drum. I got my harmonica out for the New York Yankees and the Coltrane on the bump. Minus 165 favorite on the road against Johan Oviedo and those black and yellow. I mean, if you need any more evidence that the public has fully had enough of the New York Yankees, a 165 Cole v. Oviedo is probably everything you need to know. Obviously, Cole, the running for the Cy Young, he's been excellent. Sub-3 ERA with one flat whip, all the indicators in place, the strikeouts in place. I mean, at this point, we know what we're getting. He's just been really good. Home run per 9, down below 1, always the major issue for Cole. And yet no one seems to care. Then maybe in my Yankee fandom coming out. This guy just gets a really hard time for being excellent. He really is. He's downright freaking sick at this. And people kind of give him a tough time. I don't know if it's like the attitude. He's not really outgoing. I don't really care. He's excellent. 122 stuff plus on the Saris model. Flip side, Johan Oviedo, 4.3 ERA, 1.34 whip. The Sierra up near 5K minus walk ERA agrees. Single digit K minus BB. It's actually right on 10, but still. 38% ball rate, 54 for a strike, and 29 O swing. I know it's a lot of numbers, but what does it mean? The control is not there. Relative to strikeouts, he falls behind and doesn't induce chases. Jay, put the Yankees in the bin, right? I mean, they're kind of hard to look for a cover. Although at 165, I should have taken a look. Okay, so at 165, they're offering us a decent price on the run line. Let's just put the Yankees in the bin for now. And if we don't find a natural pair for them, maybe we'll go with the run line, of course. Hard to look for the Yankees to cover because right now their offense is not very good against righties, especially 205. Batting average 660, OPS less 500 PAs. let's say 84 WRC plus. Now the Pittsburgh Pirates are much better, but they are a touch better. Although the Yankee youth movement, there's like a little something there. Florio looks awesome. That's like legit. And of course, if Dominguez wasn't down, the Yankees might be good. So this one, again, I think is just fatigue, right? A donkey fatigue, chalk fatigue on the public. So it's obviously it's Yankees to win. Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen has been good as well. Another reason maybe pump the brakes on the run line cover, but I think we'll get there. Next up, Bryce the Elder, our favorite Dungeons and Dragons character, minus 185 favorite on the road for the Bravos, going to meet the Fish and old man Johnny Cueto, long in the tooth. Elder, I mean, one of our W's this year. Hopefully, one of the many W's, but one of the W's we pointed out. That Elder was just never going to perform to the ERA, considering all the indicators and the disciplinary stuff. So the 3.4 ERA 1-2 whip is now starting to slide. Sierra near 5, K Walk ERA over 5. 10 KBB, 37 ball, 90s on contact. Even though he does get ahead at a nice clip, the control is not great. He ends up going into the zone. He's kept the ball down 50% of the time, which is, going to be a key to success sometimes. That's a matter of fact. But all the indicators at 5 or north of that last 40 days. Cueto, not any good. 6.15 ERA, 1.25 whip, doing like the rocking motion. I've never been into that. The 8% walk is not terrible, but it's 23 CSW, sub 20% whip rate. Those are not any good. The ball's in the air too much. The ball's hit hard too many times, so you're getting nearly 3 home runs per 9. Not a good spot against the Braves, who are, objectively excellent at baseball. 350, 16 WOBA last 500 PAs. Top 3 in homers, OPS, K rate, hard hit rate, barrel rate. Like, who is surprised? Show me your surprise face. No. Miami, not any good. 82 WRC plus on the back of 235 team batting average, sub 700 OPS, only 6% walk, 47 ground ball. All the things that are going to get you in trouble. 30% hard hit rate. Yikes. So even though I'm not buying Elder, it's really tough. He's a ground ball machine. Miami's putting the ball on the ground. It's hard to think that without some serious BABIP luck, they're going to do really well. Braves bullpen on the surface, not great. The indicator's a little bit better. Too many home runs, though. Those things do regress. Miami's been, I don't know, like, right, Puck wasn't good, and Robertson came in, wasn't good. And, like, Scott's been good, but that's been it. I actually thought we'd get better from the Miami bullpen, which we have not. My model loves the Braves, of course, like a surprise, If your model doesn't love the Braves on offense, you're probably doing something wrong. There legit, isn't a split that they don't excel at. So I'm leaving this one, but just move it up. Keep an eye on Elder and the Braves. If anything for me, this one's an over. I wouldn't pay the juice. I think that's one of my again, lessons of whether it's still considered warm. You got to keep an eye on where we are. Jay was asking about the pair. I'm going to say no. Just because I worry about Elder. Like the Braves bullpen is not great. I just worry about that stuff. But not a bad pick, my friend. Next up, Flatfish of Florida, Zach Eflin. Eflin, and the Rays from Tampa on the road against the Blackbirds at Orange Vest and my boy Jack O'Flaherty, plus 115 dog. This was interesting. I wonder if maybe we could get a little funky and do like an F5 pairing. Here, let me lay it out for you. So I really like Eflin for the first 5. He's been better than Flaherty, 3.5 ERA, 1 flat whip. Rays always kind of maximizing pitcher output, 3.4 Sierra, 3.10 expected, sub 4% walk rate for Eflin. He's been excellent paired with a 30 CSW, 37 O swing. So really doing a lot of things right in that disciplinary profile, really kind of building the robust underpinnings we're looking for, resulting in a 269 expected WOBA through 161 innings. That is just excellent. So he's kind of hard to mess with. Flaherty on the other side, he was terrible to start. He came to Baltimore, he saw a bit of a correction, but it's starting to fall apart again. So I'm looking more at those last 40. He's an 8.75 ERA, but a 4.5, expected across. Sierra XFIP came walk ERA. He struggled with control. It's been in major issues. Also getting hit a bit harder than we'd expect. 393 expected WOBA on contact from Flaherty. But you get into the offenses, Tampa's ticked up a bit, but their discipline is trash. 24K, 13 swinging strike, 83 zone contact, very poor. Baltimore really swinging the sticks right now. Both of these bullpens have been rocking and rolling. So I may actually have this one modeled up for a win. Let me just check it out. I do. I had the Rays model for a win. Maybe we should have hit this one. I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger on this one. The price was nice and fair. Right, Jay? Full price on Rays money line? Yeah, it's all over the place. Okay. Okay, so I feel a little bit better about myself. I've been very open about my own cowardice. The pricing was all over the place. So just scroll it again one more time for me, Jay Bird. So F5 is a little hefty for me to take straight at 140, but also we don't want to tempt the Baltimore sticks. So you go full game. I thought early on I saw that near closer even money, and now you even got to go 125. I don't know, man. I really have. Again, I'm going to pass. I'm going to explain why, but I don't want to put other more robust players off it. Right? Again, I'm not right or wrong. I don't predict the future of whatsoever. The thing that's gotten me in trouble, in particular, this season in particular, has been challenging really good offenses when they're hitting. And trying to squeak out. You've heard me say it. Again, it's doesn't mean it's good that we're all going to be losers, but I've said, we're going to have to get this one, 3-2. We're going to have to get this one, 4-3. And we've been on the wrong side of that, losing 3-2, losing 4-3, because we've given up runs. And then you start to say, well, every single one of those losses have just been overs. So I think that's where my rationale has been. Leaning on totals, less on starting pitching, because of the hitting environment. And again, these teams are hitting. It's not, this is not challenging the bad Pirates. This is a smoking hot, competitive Orioles offense who just brought up another superstar prospect. Really kind of an embarrassment of riches for the Orioles. Keston Hirsch. I don't know how to say his name. Some really cool, like German Hirschstud or something like that. But Keston is up, and he's a stud. Next up, it's the Boston Red Sox's Brian Bellissimo on the bump, plus 115 dog on the road against Joe Berry's and those Toronto Blue Jays. Again, I'm going to talk about the yellow stripe. If I looked up the pinstripes today, you'd see a nice fat yellow stripe on my fat body. Because I actually had this one printed and pulled it down. Jay, let's hit it. We gotta go after these when we like them. I've been a big Bayo guy all season. He's been very good. 3.7 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, controlling the walk, keeping the ball on the ground 56% of the time, which, again, is a thing I thought that would put it over the top. For the Blue Jays, they've really been a ground ball machine, also struggled with hard hit balls, though the discipline's been great, but that's the thing. Bayo was not walking anybody. So the Blue Jays have kind of gotten by on their patience. I don't think they're going to get a chance. Bayo's going to challenge his own. He's working low. And again, he's induced a ton of ground balls, a ton of weak contact, which has been kind of the calling card to get at Toronto. Boston offense looking pretty good as well, though striking out quite a bit. That hasn't really been Berrios' game. So you can kind of see where I'm going. I really had this one split, but because we were getting decent money on the run line F5, that was the play that I had. That was the play I think we should take, Jay. Jeff L. says, I don't care if Prime Clemens and David Cone are pitching for Toronto. I'm never picking them again. I hear you. So how about playing for a tie for Boston through 5? Let's go with Boston. 125 to 130, Jay. It's starting to move. Let's go to the regular F5. Right, because the only thing I often get this question, and again, we want to be thinking about lessons and methodology as we close up the season. Again, those things hopefully I can leave you with. That might even help you in other sports. Yes, we love the run and the run line, but the only thing it's saving you is the tie game. So if you're putting yourself in a disadvantageous position with the price, which I think we are here, where if you're near 135 and minus 140 to get that run, when you can just get out of there with the push, if you're getting plus 115, the amount of risk dialed down, I don't know if it offsets the probability of outcomes there. Again, not that anyone can predict those things within percentage points, but we need to be realistic. So I like Boston at 5. It's been one of my bets this year. Boston bullpen has been terrible. Toronto bullpen has been awful as well. This one might be like an F5 under live game over. Again, if I had... wish I had like a teenage son that was addicted to this stuff like I was, or a young apprentice. Get my little green friend on this stuff. And just have somebody kind of tracking all the ancillary stuff we talk about. Again, that's kind of where we've seen success in the baseball betting markets go. I believe very few people like myself are out there like mashing the general market, right? It's generally not what's going on. I understand. I'm trying to take the hardest test. I'm trying to appeal to legalized betting and people that are not looking to combine out props and things they've never heard of before. But again, I'm not trying to bash those things, but you have to understand it appeals to a different style of bettor, a different type of person. And I've just kind of taken on the task of thinking that my model could be to beat the game. I think we've done pretty well doing that. But if you're going to, you got to pull the trigger on these things. So again, I've been a bit conservative, closing out the season, doing pretty well on the sub betting site, which, by the way, again, is 100% free. So follow me up on Twitter at John Laghezza after you rate, review, and subscribe. Pinned tweet will take you to all the free stuff. It's a Google Doc, and you could just bookmark it for the rest of the season. See what we're all about. Maybe it'll sell you on the $20 for the entire season last year. When I think about how much work I put in for $20 over a year, it's pretty incredible. But that was always kind of the goal, to help try and bring a more advanced and premium content into this space at fair is not the word price. I don't know what it is. So let's move it on. Boston, Toronto, live game over, right? Bet the over in the 6th inning. Next up, I don't know where this one's going to go. I have a wealth on my arse from I shouldn't say bad beats yesterday. We want to reserve that term. But I had a rough go. I got walked off 2 F5s in a row. Yuri Perez, F5 we had yesterday. He was up 1-0 early. They tied at 1-1, bottom 4. Marlins go up 2-1, top 5. I think we're good. And then, of course, Tyrone Taylor or he threw a wild pitch. He moved them into scoring position. It was just disgraceful. It sucked. We got walked off, and then we had Mets, Arizona under 5.5. It was 2-0, bottom 5. I went to the store with my daughter, my lovely angel, and thinking it was pretty good. And then, of course, the Mets came alive and wrecked Merrill Kelly for 5 in the 5th. So I don't know what we're going to get here. Hunter Green on the bump for the Reds, minus 105 against David Peterson and the Mets. If you had told me that, coming into the year, I would have laughed at you. Green just coming off the IL. We always generally attack those guys. Man, Peterson, I've been going after, but he's been really good at points, more particularly as of late. So the 5.35 ERA, 1.6 whip on a season, maybe a bit misleading. Last 40 days, a lot better, everything closer to 4. And he's been very good at home, 3.18 ERA at the crib, less than 1 home run per 9, which has been the hiccup for Peterson. He has a nearly 2 homer 9 in the season. Reds offense just kind of, it's been so up and down, probably understandable when you think about the young, let's see, did you say youths? I should have dropped the youths. The youth there, the lack of experience on the Reds, a lot of times leads to over-aggressive nature in the box. Ellie De La Cruz, we're looking at you. Matt McLean at points, but again, these kids are ridiculously talented. So when the disciplinary stuff is looking good, like it is right now, what do you get? The Reds are looking good. 10% walk rate, 10 swing and strike, 29 chase, out of character for them. 3.40-14 WOBA. Look out for the Reds. They've not been great against lefties. But the Mets really starting to hit. 831 team OPS, 40 fly ball, 43 pull, 42 hard hit, 10% barrel. Right, that's that formula that we're looking for. Did you say Utes? No, not the Utah Utes, P-O-T-J. I was thinking about my cousin Vinny Utes. But either way, did you say Utes? Yeah, the 2 Utes. So I don't even know what you're going to get. If you're betting this one, you probably have problems, unless it's on the over. Mets with the triple nickel ERA last 35 1/3. Cincinnati bullpen 4.5. Sierra last 64. But also 45 fly ball, 50% fly ball for the Mets, 11 barrel allowed by the Let's Go Mets Go. So this one for me is like an over or not at all. Of course, you're looking out for Green. If he looks sharp, he's pumping the hundo. We're going to back him in 5 days. But I think we want to see it first. I'm going to do a little magnifying glass on him as well. A lot of ugly matchups today. Again, Mets not striking out a bit, not as bad as they've been at times. And we know Green kind of has that stuff. I mentioned it because of the daily K leader that we were so into. And now, the book has either not posted him, FanDuel's either not posted it, it's not up right now, or when they have, they've kind of really sat on the odds. But Jay Bird is going to come in the last couple minutes. We're going to do just our thoughts on it. Maybe it'll be up by then. If not, players to look out for. And then, of course, you just look out for the Twitter handle. Jay's been doing an awesome job with that. And I've been meaning to bring up the daily team run leader as well. I mentioned my, betting work. In there are implied team totals, which is quite literally modeled up for that particular contest. Pretty easy. Look for the highest scoring teams. Take the best 3 of them. We've done extremely well in those. Let's move it on. Moving on up. John Gray, White Wolf of Winterfell on the bump for the Walker Texas Rangers. Minus 120 dog on the road against Luke Giolito and the Guardians. Do I even miss, did I get that wrong, Jay? Are those lines correct? generally the Rangers are pretty bad in the bullpen, but because of the offense and the narrative, especially against Cleveland, the Giolito has stunk. This price feels a little off for me. So if we can get the the Rangers are there. Minus 120. Let's see how we get full game tonight. The Rangers bullpen is generally pretty bad, though Cleveland is really struggling also. We have such an advantage on offense. I don't think we can go wrong either way. If you want to leave the door open for the push, let's hit the F5. Jay, let's be cool. Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool. Stay cool, honey bunny. John Gray, sub-4 ERA, 1.25 whip. Indicators, really, he's just a guy. 22K, 8.5 walk, just a guy. But you get the 41 ground ball. He suppresses hard hit, around 1 homer 9. You can see where, he gets by. He's been very good on the road, 220 batting average allowed, 612 OPS, 3.4 ERA, 3/4, home run per 9, sub-4 indicators across the board last 40 days. Other side, Giolito struggling, 5 ERA, 1.5 whip, 800 OPS. I mean, it's just been a rough go. He's put the ball in the air way too many times. Way too often is what I mean to say. And then lots of bad math. So 46 fly ball, 43 hard hit, 11 barrel is the 2 home run per 9 for Paisan Luke Giolito. 7 ERA last 40 days. Indicators a bit better, but he's been rough. He's just getting no support from the Guardian offense. 4% barrel rate. Yikes. They're bottom 3 as far as power teams go easily. Only 8 home runs, last 500 plate appearances. That is sickening as a team. 83 WRC plus, dead last. Expected WOBA versus righties, last 30. Texas offense is really good. We picked up on this. Again, I got to take, for all the L's that I take, well, I'm going to get that in a second. Thank you so much again. This is part of the give and take that I mean. I really appreciate you, my man. I see you. Lost my place, of course. But anyway. Oh, yeah. I got to take for all the L's we take, and I take plenty. L for love. This is the way. I've been watching Mandalorian. This is the way. When you're trying to identify when to bet on good offenses, you want to go with the trend. The public doesn't understand this part. They always assume great Astros, great Padres, great Rangers. We have done a better job of understanding the nuance of the waves, the sine waves of the production, which generally begins with discipline. We watched the Rangers go in the tank. We got burned backing them a few times. We waited for the disciplinary stuff to tick back up, and now you back them again. 19K to 12 walk, 27 chase. That's a top 3 disciplinary basket for the Rangers. 44 fly ball, 45 hard hit, 358 team WOBA, 127 WRC plus. They should wipe the floor with Giolito. I mentioned both bullpens are rough, so I'd rather back Texas through 5 and not have them cough it up, because that stuff really makes me sick. To Williams Craig point again, one more time, to the sharpest comment group on the web. Appreciate you, man. The give and take. You guys are not useless eaters. You are participants. You are part of the phalanx, grabbing the spear and the shield. It means the world. That's why this ain't madness. It's freaking Sparta, baby. That's how we do it. So William Craig aptly mentions the highest scoring team has been voided the last 2 days because of rainouts. Okay, true, right? But that happened to me once before. They reposted it immediately. So I wonder, Will, did you look again? Maybe because of a few rainouts, they scratched it. But that would be my advice to people. I had to take a financial loss, but a capping win on one of those, like Will mentioned. We had the winner. One game got rained out. They canceled it, reposted it. It was even the same odds, and my bet was voided. So just something to keep an eye on. If you're going to play these daily contests, they will pull down the board and repost. I'm kind of scrolling through it again, looking to see if we get any love. Nothing yet. DraftKings dragging their feet. And FanDuel dragging their feet. Tim York says, John's on fire. My cousin Vinny and Pulp Fiction. Yeah, stay cool, honey bunny. Yo, if you needed to know which wallet was mine, you think you'd even have to ask, it's the one that says bad mother effer on it, baby. You know what they call bad mother effer in France, right? Le bad mother effer. Love it. POD Stone to Tim York, William Craig. Really do appreciate you, man. Let's wrap this up strong. We got some games. Got to blow through, man. There's so much to do. Bailey Ober's back for the Twinkies on the road. -175 dog against the White Sox and Jesse Scholtens. As much as have liked Ober in the past, he struggled with home runs. We've been picking on the White Sox incessantly. I don't think you need to pay the juice to do it today. This would be another one where it's kind of easy for me. If you want to pick on a bad team, but you worry about runs being scored, the answer is probably an over. Oh, look what I did there. It's not over, but over. My model's not picked up on it. Maybe I don't want to say I have mistakes with over, but I maybe if I was going to do one off-season adjustment, I mention all the time how I don't stick my finger in the soup. One of the things I would do is come up with an adjustment for the first game back. Because that is something I always have to mention in my analysis that I don't have modeled out necessarily. But man, after time, I'm getting old, man. We just know you don't back these guys. Here's to the metric system. You don't back these guys right off the IL. And though the Twins' offense has been good, they strike out a ton. I'm not a big fan of Scholtens, but he's shown us runs of quality starts. We also know the Twins strike out a ton. And that, of course, is the back door to getting, annihilated. Scholtens has struggled at home and not been great as of late. So don't get me wrong. If you like the Twins, you like the Twins. Twins' offense is objectively better than the White Sox as well. Same to be said for the bullpen. The White Sox bullpen ERA has been okay. They're keeping the ball in the yard, which, of course, is a pathway to some semblance of success. But I'm avoiding this one. I want to see Ober first. Next up, man, maybe my biggest L, right? If I'm taking W, so let me take my capital L. Biggest L on the year for me easily. Christian Javier on the bump for the Astros. Nearly 5 ERA and a 1.3 whip. My model just does not like him at all this year. Near 5. XFIP over 5.25. 13 K minus BB, 39% ball rate, 55.5 fly ball, 10% barrel. I mean, it's nearly unpalatable there, unpalatable. And he's been awful on the road. 5.5 ERA, 5.5 XFIP, nearly 2 homer 9 with a 6.3 ERA last 40 days, nearly 6 SIERA in that time frame. It's been really rough go on the bump against Zach Greinke. We all know we're getting with Zach Greinke, not much. They're going to just roll out the corpse of Zach Greinke over and over until the season is over. But right now the Royals are hitting. I can't stress enough about this. Avoiding juice on favorites, shifting to the over. Okay? Yes, is it probable the Astros win? Of course it is. But the Royals are hitting right now 272 TBA plus 800 OPS, 40 fly ball, 40 hard hit, 347 team WOBA. Last 500 PAs, Houston offense rocking and rolling. Just really no reason to pay to go after Javier. Houston bullpen is a little bit better than Kansas City. Sometimes I wonder how the public kind of digests these things. I guess they're on to Javier somewhat. The total's at 9.5, which is a little too high for me. I was hoping it was 8.5 or 9. If I was on it earlier, we probably could have gotten that. Got another advantage where if my career as a analyst, content creator, if it goes in the toilet, look for me to be betting at nighttime. It's just it's obvious. I run my model at night with the same probables after the team scoring happens and whatever. Let's just move it on. I can't back the Astros, but this one, of course, is an over. This one, of course, you got to be looking at your DFS, you're stacking, and all the kind of overs on underdog and all that weird stuff. Next up, Jake Irvin on the bump for the Nationals, plus 170 dog against Wade Miley. And the Brewers, again, it's just another one. These guys are not any good. Negative regression across the board. Irvin 4.2 ERA, but the 5 indicators everywhere. 7 swinging strike, 17 whiff rate, 90 zone contact. Well below average chase rate. This guy's pitching to contact. He's been terrible on the road. He's probably going to get cracked by the Brewers, even though they're not great against righties. Wade Miley, 3.30 ERA, 1.14 whip. His indicators are north of 5. There is not a bigger negative regression candidate in the league right now than Wade Miley. The problem is the Nationals' offense has been pretty bad, and they're really struggling against lefties. So they're another one that's tough to back. But don't be surprised. You're going to go up there and roll out Miley, and he gets tanked. He's really not any good. Both of these offenses have struggled. Remember, also, the thing for the Brewers, I mentioned, is split. They are much, much better against lefties than they are against righties. This one could get fought in the mud. I would not pay the juice for the Brew Crew here at all. And if I liked Irvin, even a smidge, I'd be getting on some kind of run line here. But this one, you're better off just kind of passing it, letting it go. Next up, Aaron Nola on the bump for the Phillies. I mean, this guy's been so up and down, but I'm always going to fall for it because the indicators are there. The disciplinary stuff is there. Let's take a look. Nola, I mean, this one should just be an auto bet. Okay, I got to get back into this. Let me just out before I have you pull the trigger. Yeah, let's go for it. Aaron Nola versus Zach Thompson. Aaron Nola at minus 135. Yes. The answer is yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. So let's not bury the lead. Smash the Phillies money line while you can. Again, if this one was at like the 180, this could have been a pair with the Yankees. Maybe you can just kind of hold your breath. Listen, Nola, 4.6 ERA, 115 whip, every single indicator at 3.8 or below, 20 KBB, 30 CSW, 33 ball rate, 37 O swing, 65 first strike. Everything we look for. Strikeouts, control, gets ahead, called strikes, induces chases. I mean, I know the results have been rough. The home runs have been out of control. He's had really bad home run luck. It's just kind of what it is. It's a 16% home run to fly ball. I believe that will correct. He's been terrible on the road, but like, what does I every road stadium is different. It's much harder to buy into road stats, in my opinion, at least. So the nearly 2 homer 9, 5.5 ERA last 40 days, xFIP, of course, almost 2 runs lower because it's all home run driven, 4.9 ERA last 40 days. However, but all the indicators at like 3.5, between 3.5 and 3 3/4. Aaron Nola is objectively very good. Zach Thompson, 4 ERA, but a 1.5 whip. The indicators are up and down because the control is wonky. Nearly 10% walk rate, 38 ball rate, 9% miss. That's the issue for me. You can't miss to this Phillies team. They're going to eat you alive, no matter how good Thompson's been at home. I think that's the determinative factor here. Phillies offense is really good. They're striking out a bunch. And maybe that's what the books are seeing, that like, what, Thompson's going to carve them up. I'm not sure I'm buying it because I don't think we're necessarily going to get the distance in this one. And then the Phillies bullpen is objectively better. Last 46 innings, it's a sub-3 ERA. St. Louis, nearly 5. Sierra, 13% walk, 45 hard hit, 10% barrel, nearly 2 homer 9 for the Cardinals bullpen. So even if Thompson goes, blow for blow for 5 with Nola, I think the Phillies outlast them. This one feels like a misprice. Carlos' office has been okay. The disciplinary stuff is starting to ring. The production hasn't happened yet. So maybe on the horizon. But they really have not been very good. The contact quality is very poor, not what you'd expect. The dead last at pull rate, not what you'd expect. Cardinals kind of packed it up. And now Gorman is down, one of the sources of their power. He's been excellent, man. Eyeball that guy for fantasy next year. He's really good. I was surprised. I didn't know if the profile would play, and it did. I was wrong. But now he's hurt. Next up, so Phillies to win it. Next up, here's our pair, Jay. This one I had as a pair. It got ringed out. So it's Logan Webb and the Giants against Chase Anderson and the Rockies. They're not double dipping it today, which I thought was unusual. Maybe that'll happen tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. But let's pair Yankees and Giants. Cole and Webb. I mean, Webb's been freaking awesome, yo. He is so, so good. 3-2 Sierra, sub 4% walk, 29 CSW, 35 O swing. He's a ground ball machine. He's just really good. Even showing off some strikeout stuff that maybe people didn't think was there. 29 CSW, 65 first strike. That'll play. Chase Anderson, 6.5 ERA, 1.5 whip. Malpractice by the Rockies. They suck. He has a nearly 10 ERA last 40 days. 81 stuff plus on the Saris model. Remember, 10 is not WRC plus when you're reading Saris's model. Stuff plus, pitching plus, location plus. 10 is a standard deviation. Chase Anderson, nearly 2 standard deviations worse in regards to stuff than the average pitcher. I mean, just mind-blowing stuff. Mind-blowing stuff. Rockies' offense is pretty bad as well. You got to keep an eye on Webb for the strikeout totals. He might be near the top, but maybe not because he's not thought of in that way. But just to keep an eye on it. Rockies 25.5 K, 14 swing and strike, 39 chase, 53% ground ball. They're going to play right into Webb's hands. Giants' offenses, they're okay, a little better than average right now. They're putting a stick on the ball, elevating and hitting it hard. Again, a recipe for success. So this one should be pretty easy. Famous last words for baseball betting. Giants bullpen 3.5 ERA last 50 innings. Rocky bullpen 7 ERA last 43 and a third. So I mean it's a three-phase edge. You have every reason to even like the money line, the run line here. A little bit wonky in Colorado at times. And again, the run line can be a tough bet, particularly if the pricing has a negative in front of it, because the manager of the team you're betting on will easily sacrifice that run. He doesn't care. And that's the killer. Or if somehow the bullpen coughs it up and you go into extra innings, you're just kicking yourself in the ass. You just want to win and get out of there. So again, me kind of showing my yellow belly, but that's part of it. If you like the Yankee run line and Giants run line, go for it. And again, we get the conversation we had yesterday, hopefully leaving everybody with a little bit of procedure stuff, just some stuff to food for thought, right? Both of the bets have a negative in front of them. If you put the equal risk on both of them, then you still have to win both to profit. So I'd rather turn down the risk, play for the wins, play into the hands of the managers, right? That's kind of how we describe it, meaning the managers are going to pull out their fingernails to win and would not care if they won by 2 at all. If you told me, you could win 162 games, not one will be a run line cover. They'd look at you and say, I don't know what that means. Next up, Tariq Skubal and the Tigers on the road against Griffin Canning, the Winged Lion, and the Angels. I was just downright surprised by the pricing here. Bring up the Tigers and bet them while you can. Skubal is the one you want to get with. We also know F5 would have been fine, but the Angels bullpen is so bad. They are so bad. They let go of Ray Lowe. They waived Matt Moore. They have nothing back there whatsoever. So I like the full game. Give us the at-bats to let it play out. Angels, one of the worst teams in the league right now. Skubal looks like freaking Cy Young out there. 2.6 expected ERA through 62 and a third. He's a 25K minus BB, 30 CSW, 30 whiff, 37 chase, 82 in zone contact. He is freaking awesome right now. 54 ground ball guys made in a lab, 4% barrel, less than a half a homer 9. Back Skubal every chance you get. Griffin Canning's been good. He's not great. We've backed him at times. That was my reason to just pump the brakes on the F5. Also, the Tigers' offense is lacking. Not as bad as the Angels, who just are awful. 76 WRC plus last 500 plate appearances. Just awful. 221 team batting average, 660 OPS. And again, this is another one why you come hang with us, hopefully nuance and context. The 23.5K is poor, but 14 swing and strike, 36 chase, 81 zone contact is really, really bad. Skubal's got to be the favorite to be the K leader tonight. Again, it's not up, but we just walk through it. We're going to bring in Jay again to just talk through it, see if he sees things the way that I do. We mentioned Webb. We mentioned Skubal. The odds generally not in your favor for those guys, but at the same token, I want people to open up their mind. Your mind, dude. To the alt props on these players. That's the other reason why I want to get Jay on. As he's going, I'm going to be searching for alt props. I got a really good book offshore. You can hit me up. I'll send you, DM me. I'll get you going. But Jay and I have kind of identified that where we finding these pitchers that we think are a pot for the daily K leader, the daily leaderboard has them identified as such. But the alt props, the pricing is still nice. So that is another one I'm putting on my whiteboard for next year. I got to be careful piling things on my plate because of the amount of work that I do. But if we're going to be challenging contests that are in line with work we're already doing, like the team run leader, I want to take that stuff on. So, right, if the daily K leaders are a thing all year, I want to have something there. I'm going to start looking at the alt stuffs too, maybe combining. Again, hat tip my boy Joke if he's out there. With the BTB guys have just crushed combining all props. Now they're combining RBI props, and I like multi-RBI props, and I feel like if I did it, I'd look like a total, like a poser, like I'm biting off them, but man, they are just killing it right now. I never even really thought about that again. Total hole in the market, it's not priced properly. All right, next up, let's just try and blow through these last couple games. We want Detroit to win it, Jay, obviously. Was it still, I didn't see the price. I had minus 110. That had to come off minus 110. But right, providing it wasn't worse than minus 130, did we take it? That's where I was going, Detroit. Anyway, next up, Justin Steele and the Cubbies on the road against Brandon Pfaadt and the Diamondbacks. Again, let's not bury the lead here. Steele has been awesome. If you can get a piece of Justin Steele for minus 135, let's just take up, paint a little bit of juice. Jay, bring up those numbers. Have they slipped to minus 150 yet? That's like my dead zone. money line stuff. All right, I'm gonna flip over here. You got it. Yeah, we're at 135. We can take a 135. Let's go. Justin Steele's he's been so good. You know, he's gonna get Cy Young votes. People don't want to hear it. 2.5 ERA, 113 WHIP. Indicators are all good. They're not great, but they're all at 3.5. 5% walk rate, 32 ball, 65 first strike, 36 O swing. He's got the bully stuff going, 49 ground ball, 5% barrel. So you piece it together. The death punter basket is very strong. He's winning around the edges. He's keeping the ball down, suppressing hard contact, keeping the ball in the yard. I don't know what else people want from this freaking guy. He's awesome. Another miss for me. I didn't think his fastball would be good enough to play, but it's improved, and the slider is very good. So there you go. Wheels up for Steele. Sub 2 ERA last 40 days, been good. Fought has been up and down. We mentioned the trajectory, right? The prospects that stink get demoted, correct, come back. People hate them because their ERA is bad. He's actually started to struggle again. And that Arizona offense that we like so much is going back in the tank. Cubs offense is better than they are. Arizona 84 WRC plus, sub 300. Team Woba, sub 6% barrel, 231 team batting average, only 12 homers, last 500 plate appearances. Pretty weak. The bullpen's been pretty good. But Steele's been going deep, and the good part of the Cubs bullpen is pretty good. So I just think we get this one. So Cubs to win it over the struggling Diamondbacks. Next up, Seth Lugo and the Friar Tuck Padres on the road against the Elephants, balancing on beach balls. I could not believe my eyes when I saw Seth Lugo was up against Sean Duke Newcomb. Oh my gosh, he is back. Wow. I mean, what is going on here? I've got San Diego on the cover. I don't know why I just didn't get to this one. Maybe it wasn't posted. Maybe run line stuff wasn't posted. I got minus 120 in the run line for the Padres. That's probably the play. Lugo's been pretty good. He's had his struggles on the road, but the indicator's not buying it. Like, Newcomb's been good through 12 innings, but obviously we're not buying it. We know the A's bullpen is also pretty terrible. So if you're going to play against the A's, you always want to go full game. You can pick on the A's right now. Pretty large disparity in offense. Also, Padres, we've got another thing we mentioned, the disciplinary stuff picking up. Then it started producing better contact. They also threw in the stolen base element. So Padre offense starting to roll, plus 120 WRC plus. I just think this one they outlast them. Padre bullpen has been good. The offense is better. And I think the Newcomb regression train is happening today. So we go for a Padres cover. I think that one's in pocket. I was surprised the pricing is not there. The public just not on Lugo. I think some guys that were relievers that get stretched out as starters, like Michael King for the Yankees, they just tend to it takes a little bit for everyone to get behind them when they realize that the workload is there. Like Lugo is a starter. He's so good. Newcomb is not. If you whatever, the Oakland bullpen's gonna have to come up with multiple innings. I think we'll get this one. Next up, this is the game to watch. Marquee game. Bobby Miller and the Trolley Dodgers on the road, minus 105 split against the Pickle, George Kirby and the Mariners. Again, this is the one to watch. I don't really bet on these. Thank you. Mr. Stoner says, good information and content. Keep this shit up. Man, it's what we do here. It's what I do. Again, right, we don't throw the ball, we don't swing the bat, but we do control our own temperament, we do control our own work ethic, and then we control the risk management. And hopefully those things, as they play out over time, will be enough, to get us across the finish line, or at the very least, help you understand how to stay in the arena and bet around even. Yeah, I understand. Everyone's like, oh, emojis and a million units. Listen, you got to get there. Baby steps, Doc. I don't know if anybody was expecting a What About Bob reference today. All right, baby steps. So just leave this one. There's really no edge. Jay, let's do the bet stamp thing really quick, and then we'll bring you in with it right afterwards, if that's cool with you, everybody. Big round of applause for our boy Jay. Tell him all about BetStamp, my dude.
Yeah, for sure, John. I got you here. If you're looking to improve as a sports bettor, the easiest way to do so is to have multiple sports books and to always get the best odds. I noticed someone in the comments today saying my book shows minus 1.5 at minus 115. I'm not sure what the game is, but if you had multiple sports books, you could probably get a better line on that game. And the easiest way to do that is have an odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp simply compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time and money by downloading BetStamp. Head over to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download the app today. If you're looking to sign up for more sports books, make sure that you click that link in the description, click that link on the screen, or type the link into the into your URL, into the URL bar, betsim.app/call to the pen. If you sign up to that page, help support the show. So yeah, thanks guys.
Yo, my man Coop, congratulations on the new show. Really
Appreciate
appreciate you, dude. Honestly, all the hard work that you do, it doesn't fall on deaf ears, right? It doesn't fall on, and a lot of people, I know, appreciate you. All of our people do. I always try and elevate you the best I can. So let's close out this season strong, my man. Let's start with the K stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I was trying to just drop some nuggets. I had Webb and Scooble. They haven't posted it. Anybody sticking out for you today?
Yeah. So just gonna talk about the big board that I see right now. We have Garrett Cole. I think is probably going to be the leader. All 9 plus Ks is at 200. It looks like it's gonna be Cole, Canning, and Scooble as the top 3 guys today. Cole is 200, Canning is 240, Scooble is 560. One guy I want to mention though.
So sharp, man. I got hold on, people. What Jay's doing for any new listeners that we might have. Jay's being super sharp, and it's a very good piece of process that you have, Jay. It really is. I don't suggest garbage. What Jay's doing is with the lines for the leaderboard are not up. He's looking at the alt lines to have the books give us directionality. Jay, go ahead. Really sharp stuff.
Yeah. So and then. So of those 3 guys, I mean, if you can get it looks like it looks like it's gonna be Cole, Canning side by side. A little bit back will be Scooble. Maybe Scooble's in like the 700, 800, 900 range. I actually think that wouldn't be that bad of a play. LA hasn't looked that hot down the stretch. I know we don't like going for the higher end, the worst odds, the top 3. It's not tasty, but I mean the way that they're posting it. That seems like the way you have to almost change up your strategy because the back end guys don't seem to be there anymore. And this is a perfect example of it. Is Zach Thompson maybe 2 months ago, if he's having the start to the career or start to this his season that he's having now, like his 50 inning, I think he had 50 innings pitch. He's averaging like 10 strikeouts per inning. He looks good, right? And he's playing Philly, who's been very poor the last 14 days. If this was 2 months ago, I think he would be in like the 36-1, 50-1, 60-1 range. But right now he's between Berrios and Javier. And
is it up already?
No. Sorry. Like I'm talking about alt Ks.
Oh, on the odds. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
So alt in the alt market, they're giving him respect. So maybe that trickles down towards that's my thought process. Alt market trickles down into the daily K leader market. And he gets a little bit of respect there. So he'd be like somewhere where Berrios is. Berrios is usually around 20-1, 21-1, 24-1, somewhere in that range. So maybe you can expect them to be there, but it looks like Scooble, Canning, Cole at the top, then like a little bit of a drop off. We have Steele, Flaherty, and Bobby Miller. So like that seems to be the range of like the top 3 and then the top 6. Of those 6, I don't know who you like. I mean, Bobby Miller against Seattle, like I feel like that's always a play.
I want to do that. Let's do the flip side then. Let's take a look. I think you nailed the pitcher end. Yep. Let's take a look at the offensive end and see if we can piece any of this stuff together. So, again, I make it as easy as I can for myself. Like I brag about the stuff that pump to other people, but these sheets are really helpful when you need to digest a lot of information at once because they're all formatted. Again, it's all my pin tweet stuff. So worst offenses by discipline right now has got to be the Yankees, but like Oviedo is kind of a tough play.
Yeah.
It's Boston. So who's that? Berrios. He's not much of a strikeout guy. The White Sox, the K rate's up in there, but the rest of the stuff is pretty poor. So that's Ober. I mean, again, Ober, I'm right. I'm doing the thing you do because early on in the year he might have been like plus 80-1, and now it feels like he's going to be plus 21. So what I want to tell people is we are going to be tracking this when this comes out. Follow us on Twitter. Jay's handling the Call to the Pen HQ account. But if he does it, I'll retweet it or post it or tag it or something. And Ober, I think so. Ober feels price dependent, right, Jay? Because he's shown us some strikeout stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And then another guy I want to bring up that's going to be price dependent, but this is like, I don't even know if I'd recommend playing it because I think you'd have to have like massive cojones to do this. You mentioned Logan Webb, but they're playing in Colorado, and that scares me, right? Playing in Colorado, it depends how, I'm not sure exactly how Webb gets his strikeouts. Does he rely on a lot on the fastball? Because if it's breaking ball stuff, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here, but breaking ball stuff does not translate to cores at all.
But the guys do get strike. It's not okay. So yes, you're 100% right. The ball movement is different. That's part of like the whole thing. From what I understand, a lot of the when we see drop offs and strikeouts, it's pitchers kind of changing style.
Okay.
Like it's not like oh man, I can't strike him out. It's good pitchers are like, all right, so I'm not going to do this. Like they're going to go another route. So again, it's a good reason against it. Right now, I'm always open to like the rational counters. As I was rambling, I started looking again. It's good if you truly believe, which it has generally taken, double-digit strikeouts. I have plus 1055 double-digit strikeouts for Logan Webb.
Yeah, see, FanDuel doesn't even have it posted, which makes me think.
Yeah, so that's probably a better place to go, I think. In fact, if you were to just take all the guys that we like and send out all the, I don't want to necessarily say 10 strikeouts. We generally, you and I speak about ladders and rungs, right? So when you talk about the third or the fourth rung, the furthest rung that you know is realistic, you could do really well with that also, because again, you could hit multiples, right? If you're playing for the daily leader, can't hit multiples, they can only split.
Exactly.
But if you're playing the alt props, and we've had these days, right? So it's not the boast, it's just to be objective. This very same work you and I have done trying to identify pitchers that might outperform using combinations of pitcher skill, but also lack of hitter skill or aggressive, whatever the hell you call it. So to that last one, I think we have to keep an eye also on Seth Lugo, because the A's have been awful. I didn't even realize it. 26.5 K, 14.5 swing and strike, 84 zone contact is really poor. That's a bottom 3 barrel right there. Lugo's not really thought of as a big kind of strikeout guy.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his right now. Again, the book, you still, 10 strikeouts is plus 1240. I got plus 635 on 9. But like, reasonable. He's plus 305 at 8 strikeouts. Like, that's probably something that like feels more reasonable than a 305 should be. A 305 should be a really, really long shot where I think that's in play. Yeah. So, all right, I think we did pretty good on the strikeout stuff. You have any, like, team leaders? Who do you like today? Who's going on? It's a Jay. Stop being such a homer. No, Jay thinks that Jay's going to score 1 million runs every day.
No. I think if there's a lowest score leader, I think I'd pick the Jays here. But no, actually though, like I honestly don't have any angle there. I usually just rely on your algorithm. So depending on the prices, I like to literally just look at your sheet and kind of take it from there.
I appreciate that. I really do. I take a lot of pride in it, and I want to put this in the best way, because I sometimes I come off like arrogant, and it's just confidence with data stuff. So like I challenged other kind of pros to find holes in it. You know what I mean? That's what I want, right? We have to open our work to scrutiny. There are some people like, oh, my model is black boxed, and I don't take questions. I block people that challenge me. So like, I'll talk to other sharp people and be like, do you have anybody higher than mine? Do you find holes in mine? And the thing is, it's over time, Jay. It's almost like the freaking like foil ball for PB Herman. Like when I find something, I just keep piling it on, and it's automated. So you find a split that if you back test it and it works, you pile it on, and I stick it on the thing, and I stick it on the thing, and you stick it. And what ends up happening is, like you noticed, you're never going to get 8, 9, 10 runs, right? I don't model 10 runs. It doesn't, like for me, it doesn't work that way. I shouldn't say it never has. It doesn't work. But like you'll notice, right? My floor is going to be 3, and the ceiling's going to be like 6.5. But now to work on that kind of relative scale, I have people that say, oh, what about bullpen? What about home? I'm like, go ahead, go run it. So I'm with you. I've done the same thing. And in fact, I just tell people, man, before you stick your finger in the algorithm, try and disprove it first. Because there's a really good chance I've considered the thing that you're looking at, and you just might be double counting. And I hate people like, oh, because I'm right and you don't know, so don't play with my numbers. That's not what I'm saying. Just run like a parallel sim and try and find stark differences and contact me. Yeah. Contact, like I'm an open book, man. And nothing on Jay, if you can pull a thread on my algo, I will 1,000% change it and then credit you for it. So, like, I'm there. I have, obviously, I think the chalk, although one point to the chalk has been the daily leaders have come out almost in line with my totals, if you've noticed, right? The 3 or 4 teams we've liked have all been near the top. But the odds don't really reflect the disparity. Okay, and so the book doesn't tell us they only give us implied totals with the team totals, but those are very condensed. I guess that's how they're pricing the market. But if you look at mine, I have a much wider difference in totals than the books do. Yeah. And that's why I even believe in it more, where I'm just like, yo, take the top 3 or 4 teams and let's, be responsible. So I've got the Giants, I've got the Angels, and I've got the Twins. The Giants are in Colorado, so they'll be kind of chalk. But we've had course teams at 12-1 anyway. So
Yeah. I think you said Angels. You meant Braves.
I said
Angels
it
at the bottom.
Yes, Angels. Braves. Oh my goodness. No, not right. I don't know what I saw the A. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I saw the episode
all the time. I'm like, wait. Did you say Angels? Because I scrolled down.
Holy cow! So just to give people an idea, again, I mentioned how the model is kind of, I don't want to say limited. It's reasonable. You know what I mean? It's median stuff, right? These are middle outcomes. I only have 3 teams above 5: Twins, Atlanta, San Francisco. I have the Padres, and like Texas and Houston is shade below. And I've also found people that do like DFS stuff live in that top quadrant and have had a ton of success. A ton of success. And a lot of times they'll use the second step down because a lot of times, obviously, I'm not reinventing the wheel. A lot of times my picks are the chalk. But it's that next one. Or maybe a team like today, like where the Twins are just okay. But anybody could be the winner of that. And this you talk about. So, Jay, if you have anything else to kind of stick on today, anything you like, don't like, close us out, promote your stuff.
I have one question before we get out of here for you. Have you ever looked at the high-scoring game? Is that like a thing that you've looked at before? Because they have
I'm like, the light bulb just went off again. No, it should be.
Yeah. So
because again, I do the work, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like you got to like kind of.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
high-scoring game.
I've seen it on DraftKings. It's like literally right beside.
Does it come up on the daily specials also?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to keep it on those daily specials. I don't know what I don't know what the odd. What's the odd? Is it
not as good? But I mean, I feel like if you have like two teams that are going to be like 2 teams that you have relatively high scoring, like that should be something that you should. I think you should be looking at because it's like just another way to play the same market, right?
And so you have the extra out of one team running away.
Exactly.
Because people know this also. Baseball teams manage their bullpens to the score, right? This is not a secret. And there's a very big difference between a 3-run lead and a 5-run lead. And it's almost like 4 blows up to 10, no problem. Where 3 turns into 2 and 1. Because obviously, they say, listen, man, there's another game tomorrow. These guys are used to losing. It's almost like a good handicapper. Where like, I'm not going to burn up resources.
Facing and
again, a loss is a loss, right? They don't care about
our
DFS squads. They don't care about our overs. They could care less. Honestly, could care less. They put position pitchers out there for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these guys, whatever. It is what it is. So, Jay, promote your stuff for NFL. And let's get out of here. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you can catch me on Forward Progress every Thursday. You missed me yesterday. I'm on there every Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. But I honestly recommend everyone going back and watch it. I think we had a really good discussion about the Eagles and how maybe they might not be as good as they look. And like everything came to fruition that we kind of talked about last night because they didn't.
Offense a bit more electric, but the defense not what you'd expect, man.
Yeah, but the only thing I don't want to get this into a football discussion on this channel, but the only pushback we had was that Jalen Hurts, like, listen, I don't want to be the guy to say take away these 2 plays, but he had 2 big plays. Devontae Smith, great plays. Other than that, he had 76 yards in the air, and that's
So it's a lot. No, very few people were calling for that regression there. So, exactly. Did you have a bet yesterday?
We had a couple bets on the show.
Oh, but it was for last night.
Yeah, it was for last night. If you want to check out bets for today and for Sunday, check out the Forward Progress YouTube channel.
I will be on Forward Progress with George. That show is electric. I've been in an electric fat. Me and him have a really cool symbiosis. I never had worked with him before, and there are some people that I just kind of jump on with, and it was like, oh my god, it was really electric. It was straight up electric. So I'll be on 2:35 today, doing some prop plays and talking some foosball stuff. I have my line report that's out every week on Betting Pros now, which is pretty cool. Keep an eye for all Pizzolas. Great football stuff. It's starting to get hot and heavy, man. I love this time of year. So from Jay and Jay, keep an eye on the leaderboard. Keep an eye on the Twitter handles. Right, everybody, you know the deal. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the pay. When we're done with the book, enjoy if something wrong. When you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck. Right, Jay? Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday morning. Later, everyone.